It's your boy, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's, and before we get onto the video today guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy in all social medias for more. But onto today's topic, and today we're going to be talking about the 2018 XXL Freshman List. And for the most part, I think they got their list pretty much spot on. Choices like YBN, Namir, and Trippie Redd are exactly the type of artists who should be getting on the list. You know, those artists who are popping, but just aren't really on that mainstream level yet, and those are the type of artists who can really benefit from the placement on the list. But as always, there are a couple of those picks that really confuse me. Picking Lil Pump and Smokepurpp at this stage of their career doesn't really make much sense to me. They've already blown up, and there isn't much that this list could do for them. I feel like a smaller artist would have benefited much more from this exposure. I feel like XXL were really late on their wave, and they should have been included last year, and they're trying to really make up for that. Also, I don't know why they chose to include the British Stefflon Don on the list. I assume XXL must know some things that we don't, and she must have some big things coming in the future to really push her in the US scene, but just a bit of a confusing pick to me, and it really came out of nowhere. However, I wanted to move on to some of the artists that I feel like should have made it. Now, I don't think all of these artists should replace other artists on the list, but I definitely think these were some missed opportunities by XXL. And before we get onto it, in the comments, make sure to let me know what you guys think about this list. Who should have made it, who shouldn't have made it, etc, etc. But onto my thoughts. And first up, I wanted to discuss Lil Baby, and with his recent tape, it's pretty clear that Lil Baby is on a trajectory to blow the fuck up. And with him catching his first commercial hit with Yes Indeed is gonna be out of here. However, at the time XXL did the list, Baby really wasn't popping like that, so they were probably a bit out of the loop on his wave. However, looking back, XXL definitely would have wanted him on this list. And I think that's a similar story for the next artist I'm gonna discuss, Juice WRLD. And really, he doesn't need much of an introduction. If you check YouTube, if you check SoundCloud, if you check the charts, his numbers are crazy and is blowing up. However, similar with Lil Baby, at the time that XXL did the list, he really wasn't popping like that, so that's probably why they didn't choose him. However, if they were gonna pick the list again right now, they probably would have included him. And the next artist that I think should have been on the list is 6ix9ine, and it's a bit weird that he isn't. I've seen some comments saying, you know, it's about his legal situations and all that, but it's a bit weird that they got him in for the pitch, but they wouldn't include him on the list. I have a feeling there's some like politics behind the scenes that we're really not aware of. Maybe it was his comments about the numbers of his pitch and his pitch being taken down, or even the Trippie Redd beef that led to XXL not choosing him. But politics aside and the legal situation aside, if you talk about hype and numbers, he definitely should have been included on this list. And the next artist I wanted to talk about was Rich the Kid, and I've heard that Rich actually got offered the spot after Lil Skies declined it, and Rich decided to decline it also. And I don't know, I think that's a bit of a snub from XXL to just choose him after Lil Skies declined. I think Rich at this stage definitely deserved one of those initial spots. Rich has taken some major strides in his career and has finally got the ball rolling. From New Freezer to Plug Walk, it's shaping up to be Rich's year. And regardless of him declining the list or not, if you're talking about artists who should be on the list and deserve a spot, definitely Rich is one of those. And following up from Rich is Jay Critch, and Critch is another one who I feel like is just starting to get the ball rolling. And now that Rich the Kid and Famous Dex are starting to pop off in the mainstream, I think he's the next one to blow from the Rich Forever crew. He already has records that are kind of blowing up, like 1000 Ways with Harry Fraud, but I feel like it's inevitable before he catches that big record. Critch is so versatile, and I feel like 2018 is going to be a big year for him. And drawing to the end of my list with Young Bands, and Bands is someone who has had such a huge past 12 months, and I think since signing with Future and Free Bands is going to continue to glow. His buzz has been steadily growing, and his SoundCloud and YouTube plays are massive, but I think the big next step for Bands is converting to the mainstream, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes over the next year. However, definitely someone who I think should have been on this list. And that's all from me today guys, thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think about the list, who should have been on the list, who shouldn't have been on the list, and whatnot. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy in all social medias for more.